clash.
It's picking up on that lean not on your own wisdom or your own understanding.
Yeah, Ecclesiastes.
It's interesting that in these kind of pithy sayings from Proverbs are so expanded in all these other books, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then one of the other famous passages, Ecclesiastes 3, people may know it as, is it the birds or the yardbirds?
I think it's the birds.
Okay.
There is a season, turn to everything, turn. Okay, she's not singing with me.
It's because I'm not a good singer.
At least it's not a musical.
That's true.
I haven't sung in several books now, so.
But a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh. And this is kind of where I get kind of the fatalist portion, that things just are gonna keep happening.
And so sometimes when I hear this, I hear it kind of positively, like it's just naming all these good things. But I think for Ecclesiastes, he's hearing it like
you're in a down portion right now, where it's like these things are gonna happen whether you like it or not, and because there's so many negative things in it, and toiling and weeping, and like he puts in that time to laugh sometimes. Time to embrace.
And my favorite, of course, I grew up in Texas, so there's the Baconian usage. The Baconian usage of Ecclesiastes 3 with Kevin Bacon in The Mighty Footloose. There is a time to dance! Which, if you haven't seen the movie, I don't know.
My friend Kelly and I were just talking yesterday how neither one of us have ever seen that movie.
Oh man, yeah, it was seminal for me growing up. Although we just realized that at lunch that my understanding of the 80s, my memories are not always good. I just referred to Michael Jackson's dance as the moon dance. Which Nicole hopefully reminded me, which I did know, although she doesn't believe now, was moon walking. But
just the moon walk.
He did that moon dancing, you know, that Michael Jackson. Yeah, so not so cool.
I think you're getting confused with Van Morrison. Because the moon dance is his song, and it's very good.
Is that right? And that's Van Morrison. So, Drunk Irishman. I don't know what to say about Michael Jackson. I won't speak ill of the dead. So.
No. Okay.
So everything has a time.
Everything has a time.
Famous verse.
And it's kind of the sense that you can't fight it. You can't fight that time. You will be born and you will die.
Yep.
And it just keeps going. You're part of the cycle. The generations come and the generations go. And you are just a cog in the wheel.
A brick in the wall if you're into Pink Floyd at all.
And who is it?
And then, and this is, so you get all of this sort of, whatever you want to place your hope in for ultimate, meaning of like,
he kind of builds up these straw men
and then
knocks them down.
That's exactly right.
It's exactly what he does.
Yeah. So he's not the guy you want to be hanging out with, at the bar or wherever.
He's not the guy that you necessarily want to start talking to when you're going through your midlife crisis. In
a bad moment. He won't help you. But then in 9, and this is where the truth of Ecclesiastes comes. In 9 he says, and this is where I think the heart is, go, eat your bread with enjoyment, drink your wine with a merry heart, for God has long ago approved what you do. Let your garments always be white. Do not let oil be lacking on your head. Enjoy the life with the wife whom you love, or the spouse whom you love, all the days of your vain life that are given you under the sun, because that is your portion in life, and in your toil at which you toil under the sun. Whatever your hand finds to do, do with your might, because there is no work or thought or knowledge or wisdom in Sheol to which you are going. So enjoy these moments, these things that you have now. When you work, give yourself to it. Because the meaning you have is here in life. Because you're going to Sheol and there's nothing there for you.
Yeah.
It's silent. I mean, this is where people are very surprised, I think, that this is in the Bible.
Yeah.
But this incredible this worldly focus.
And I would say that most of the Bible is this worldly focus. You know, that I never liked when people would say that religion is escapism.
Right.
Because it's not. If anything, it is challenging you to be more engaged.
And we'll see that more with Jesus, and when he talks about the kingdom of God, how it's probably not exactly what some people think or imagine. There's a very this worldly sense to Jesus and the prophets that we'll get to coming up.
Yeah, and I just love it because it's one of those other times where I feel like it's so honest.
Yeah.
That, you know, I could do a lot of great things in this world, but in 100 years, no one's gonna care.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like, I don't really even care about what I did last week. So.
Well, this reminds me. I heard recently that a survey somebody saw that young people today, more than wealth or anything else, they want fame.
Oh yeah.
That's where we're YouTube, and we're on YouTube. We're not doing this to be famous, thank goodness.
No, but it's like the Real World and all these trash reality TV shows. Big Brother. What is that?
And there is this sense, I think, to make a name for yourself. And Ecclesiastes would just say, have at it.
Go for
but in a week or two, no one's going to remember.
Yeah.
And the key to happiness is kind of getting that, realizing it, and then being at peace with that.
Yeah. And just doing what you do and enjoy what you do and let that be enough.
Yeah.
You know, that constant striving for something bigger and better, which is so typically American, will leave you empty.
One of the things that one of the authors I love the most is Albert Camus.
I love him too.
Oh, and he's got a great book of essays called The Myth of Sisyphus. And in it, he talks about Sisyphus, he's a Greek character who's forever condemned to roll a rock up a big hill. And then when he gets to the top, the rock crushes him, and he has to go back down to the bottom and roll that rock back up. You tell me, friends, on the highway on Monday morning, driving to work, does it not feel like you're rolling that rock back up the hill again? And Camus, as he says, this is what life is. It's realizing that we have kind of these cycles that continue, and sometimes we feel crushed. He says, you know what life is about? It's about the courage to push up that rock. And he says there are times when Sisyphus would just enjoy the sun on his back and the feel of the rock in his hands. And when he felt that, he was free, and he had meaning and purpose. Oh,
it's nice.
That's Ecclesiastes.
That's Ecclesiastes.
So keep going to work. Don't quit.
Don't run off to Bora Bora.
Or Argentina. That's not good, especially if you're a politician.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that is kind of systemic in our society, of that we always hope that there's something better, so we trade whatever we have. Trade wives, trade jobs.
Hoping that, the grass really will be greener. Ecclesiastes again and again. The grass is not greener.
Grass is grass.
Yeah.
It's kind
of find your happiness on the patch you're at.
Yeah.
It's a good book.
It's great. Okay.
All right. We'll see you with Song of Songs. Ooh la la.